We are live here in Las Vegas once again at RE Plus 2023. I'm joined by Ardes Johnson, the President of Americas for Meyer Burger. Ardes, always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, Nico, appreciate it, man. Long week, almost done.
It's a long week, but this isn't your first rodeo, despite the fact that I find it's interesting. I talked to a number of folks who are unfamiliar with the Meyer Burger brand, so I would love for us to take a moment and establish not only the credibility and track record of Meyer Burger, but your own track record in the industry. You've been more than a decade coming to these shows. So can you talk a bit about the work that you've done in the industry, and then tie that to the history and legacy of Meyer Burger?
Yeah, well, it was a decade ago that I came to my first show, and it was part of Solar World Americas, and I was leading the Americas for the sales team, which was a long-standing company, the guys back in the day, and they had a long relationship with Meyer Burger. Created the Meyer Burger headquarters up in Oregon to support their largest customer in America. So a lot of the team we even have at Meyer Burger has a lot of experience through the Solar World, not only here, but in Germany as well. And I will tell you, for me, you grow up in it, but Meyer Burger, you go talk to the people there, we've been around for 70 years.
Wow.
And we've been making tools forever. When people say, well, who are you? We're the brand behind the brand. We really believe that. All the manufacturers you see on the floors out there, most of them we've done business with and still do business with today. So totally exciting. And for me, I definitely want to say that the show never ceases to amaze. It was crowded this year, a lot of people, a lot of action, a lot of crazy meetings that get messed up, calendars get messed up always, but it was good stuff for us, really good for us this year.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout out that I don't know that you expected. I was hanging out with Lee Zanone, who bought millions and millions of dollars of product from lots of manufacturers. And when he came by and saw Meyer Burger at the podcast stage, he said, I'm glad you're working with Meyer Burger. They are the best panel I ever tested.
Yeah.
And he said by a long shot, Meyer Burger is the best panel in the industry. And I'm not saying that, I'm saying that from someone who bought billions of dollars of product and tested it. And one of the things that he pointed out was the brand behind the brand, but he said, it feels like a lot of folks don't know Meyer Burger, and he kind of laughs at that because it's like saying you don't know Intel even though you use a Dell.
Yeah, right, exactly. And if you look at it from us, last year was kind of a coming out party for us. We were new at this time at the show. We had just announced a framework agreement with D. Shaw Renewable Investments, and companies like that don't go after nobodies. But I can tell you this, they knew us, they knew the brand, they've been to factories all over the world, and they've seen our tools. And they're a very hard partner, but a very, very good partner for us, and we're super excited about them. And also BayWa that we've partnered with, and Inca, the parent company of IKEA that we partnered with. And at the end of the day, we've locked up 6.7 gigawatts of capacity in the next 5 years that we're going to be working with, and we've got to do more, right? Of course, there's nothing, and we're not perfect by any means. And I think not only quality is important to us, but standing behind our name and our brand, we're going to be there for customer service. We tend to be very do it, and then let's talk about it later to make sure that it was the right thing, but do whatever's best for the customer today. And that's what we preach to our installers, we preach to our developer partners, and we preach to the whole world.
Well, I can only imagine the amount of growth and evolution required as an organization to manage the sales pipeline that represents 6.7 gigawatts. Can you characterize for us the growth of the Americas team from Anaheim last year to Vegas this year, and how you've mobilized at the show?
Yeah, last year we were, from a sales organization, about 3 people.
Yeah.
Not a lot. And, we were doing a lot of work across the entire country from very remote places. And we knew that wasn't sustainable. This year I brought on Aaron Clark to lead all the sales operations for the United States. So Aaron's got a huge track record in solar. He was the president of Peterson Dean, so he knows how to put big organizations together and how to execute on that. And with his help, we've gotten 10 people that we're lining up for this year, and a roadmap for about 3 or 4 more next year. And part of that reason is with our brand, our quality, what we sell, the value that it brings, you really need to be able to engage with the customers. And for us, it's not a lot about RFP response, not that we don't want to play in that world, but it is about building long-term relationships and driving it. And we essentially want to kind of replicate that here at Meyer Burger in the Americas.
You, as I've watched you all having meetings, you've had meeting after meeting, and a wonderful support team, and I could see the camaraderie. What would you say characterizes or captures the essence of the culture that you want to not only have your team understand, but your customers experience when they engage with Meyer Burger?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, I want to say thank you to you guys. I know we helped out a little bit of sponsorship, but you offered us up a space, and we took full advantage of it. I mean, we were all over it, and we spent a lot of time in it, and it was a great time. It was a great closed environment for us to have conversations with customers and talk about the future. But what I'll tell you is, I like to make sure that our customers understand that we're always, all of us, available to them. Right? I let all of our customers understand that our team is empowered to make decisions because we make the right decisions. We talk internally always about what's best for the company, and what's best for the company typically means what's best for the customer, right? And so we want to make sure that every customer knows that I'm available for them at any moment, at any time. And I get texts, I get called in the middle of the night. Definitely it happens, and I'm responsive. We have a partner in Dallas, Good Faith Energy, and so Mo called me one day, and Mo was on the phone with me, and he said, "Ardes, I need you to talk to this homeowner. I got to finish out a payment. He's got a question about the warranty, and I need you to help me answer it." I said, "Okay." And then he put him on the phone right there. I didn't know it. And the customer is asking questions on the phone. I don't know who this customer is, but I said, "Hey," and I put a pitch in for Mo. I put a pitch in for Good Faith. But at the end of the day, I answered his question, hung up the phone. Mo texted me, said, "Awesome, man. Owe you one." He's a great customer, great friend, great partner. And I will tell you that's what we want to be. That's our mission, is to be that for our customers. Our sales team, Aaron's been out in the Midwest and some other places right now, and they're knocking on doors and installers saying, "I've never had the module manufacturer come visit us. Let's go." Wow. They're excited about it, but we still want to pitch them, and we want to educate them. We want to talk about what it means to have a better LCOE. We want to talk to them about what energy harvesting off the roof means. And so those are important things to us, not just because we showed up on the door, but that's a table stake thing for us. Be there for them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being there, 2024 is going to be a big year for you guys to really and truly show up here in the U.S. You've announced that you've got not only module but cell manufacturing coming to the United States. What would you want folks to understand that you have in store for 2024? What could folks look forward to as they begin to see this brand Meyer Burger step out from the shadows and into the light?
Yeah, that's a great way to articulate it, right? Last year was, I'd say, a coming out sort of party. Meyer Burger was the scene, driving the questions of who you are, making some big announcements. This year is about developing the team, at least on the sales and the org part, the sales org portion of it. And next year is really going to be about execution, right? We've got the factory in Goodyear outside of Phoenix for the module fab, and we've got the fab in Colorado Springs for the cell. We will be ramping up in early Q1, or in April. At the end of Q1, we'll be ramping up our lines there to support our off-take customers and to support new customers as well. We'll continue to bring product in from Germany for a time being, but we are definitely going to be ramping up. And if you look at our organization today, including operations, we're probably less than 50. Yeah. By this time next year, it's going to be 500, give or take. 350 to 500 and growing for there. So the two factories are going to be super important on executing there, hiring the right people. We want to have the right message. We want to have the right culture. We want to have people who are excited to come work for us and be a part of our team. So we're really talking a lot at the leadership level internally about how do we make sure that the right culture is expressed from day one so that everyone's on the same page, right? It's a mission that you've got to get to. We want to get more solar out there, not just because we want to do it as a company, right? It's about the future for our kids and all those things that make sense.
Yeah. One of the things that another sort of anecdote I'll bring into the conversation as we bring this to a close is when I was walking the show floor last year in Anaheim, I was walking with the then chief marketing officer for Enphase, who she had worked for Steve Jobs at Apple, has a very discerning eye. And she was very critical of the way that we sort of set up the trade shows here in the US specifically. And she had just come back from Intersolar. And do you know what company she pointed to as having the best booth at Intersolar last year? Meyer Burger. Meyer Burger. And we walked the show floor and she said, "I see nothing on the show floor that represents the message that we want to send as a brand forward company to the homeowner, to the consumer, that stands out more than how Meyer Burger is presenting both the brand and the messaging and the communication." So kudos to you all. It's impressive to see this 70-year-old company begin to feel fresh and look new. And I think that, as I've said before from the stage, I rep the Meyer Burger bottle in part because it just looks cool and sexy. So thanks for bringing sexy back.
Yeah, you bet, man. I don't know how much I had to contribute to that, but I will tell you.
Well, we're both Johnsons, so
that's right. Don't bang the family. But I was saying that in Europe we've got the Inner Solar, and we stepped up there. We're going to continue to do that here as well. Really push the brand. We really want to position ourselves where we need to be, and so we're pushing for that next year at the show in Anaheim. You know, the conference here was somewhat choppy. I've got it down now, but it's time to go home. You know, and I think it's a little tough, but I think Anaheim, we've got it there, we're pretty nailed, and we'll always come back here. But we're going to be a big part of that. We're not going anywhere. People, this is a show today where people are like, they're not going to be here tomorrow. They're not going to be here tomorrow. Well, I can promise you, we're investing here. We continue to invest here. And the only thing we talk about for Meyer Burger Americas is how can we expand.
Yeah.
So we're in growth mode.
Well, we hope that you will continue to tune in and grow with us, and that you'll see us next year on the show floor at Anaheim. Drop by and check out Ardes and the team at Meyer Burger if you haven't already gotten a chance to meet them in one of the regional shows throughout the year. They do get out and they are available. Ardes, where can folks find more about Meyer Burger?
You can go to our website. We've got a great information there. Specifically for the Americas, but also globally. We put everything out there. We're a publicly traded company, so all of our financials are out there. Our ESG compliance is all out there. It's great stuff. But we also have the contacts for our sales team, because we're in the Southeast, the Northeast, the Midwest, the West Coast, wherever we're now. Yep. We couldn't answer that question last year, but we're there now.
And that's MeyerBurger.com?
MeyerBurger.com, and it'll kick you to the U.S.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Thanks for tuning in.